Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shanghai. I'm the owner of Zero Gravity Gaming. It's been a while since we've had one of these last, but with the changes that are coming this next split, I figure it's as good a time as any to bring it back. If anyone's unfamiliar with a State of the Galaxy, it's basically where I update everyone on the state of Zero Gravity Gaming, whether it be format changes, something like that. This time around, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to have figures, I'm going to have graphs. This State of the Galaxy is going to be focused primarily around a possible format change and the introduction of entry fees and forfeit deposits. For the most part, in our almost 4 years of operating Zero Gravity Gaming, we've been a decently competitive league and also free to play as our key selling points, right? It sucks to make such a significant change, but without it, it's likely that ZGG will not have much longer. Probably maybe another split. I'm going to show you a couple of spreadsheets and I'll talk about what they mean here. So the spreadsheet that I have on the screen right now is my operating cost for Zero Gravity Gaming for last split. It includes the money we've given for prizes, the cost to pay our casters and streamers. ZGG pays casters and streamers at a rate of $5 a game. We have 2 casters and it's generally a dedicated streamer a night. So that's 3 people a night. We had 4 streams a week. That's upwards of $45 a series. It gets expensive. It gets to be about $180 a week. And then that's just best of 3. And we eventually transitioned into best of 5. We have the Gauntlet. That's a lot of games. 17 games possible by the time of Gold Gauntlet and IBS semis, which that's a lot of games. So as you can see here, I had a lot to pay per week. Gold Quarters was an off week, 6 games, because our quarterfinals are still best of 3. If they went up to best of 5, that would be a lot more. I really would hate that, just off the principle of spending. So we'll get into the max amount that I could have spent, right? So roughly about $2,455 is the total operating cost just for streaming. This does not include the prizes. This does not include advertisements or whatever. So you can see why I'm pushing more for the entry fee. But when we look at the actual spend, which I pay casters and streamers in 2-week increments, sometimes we have a caster double up on streaming duty, and sometimes we had a couple casters that refused payment last split as well. That's not exactly the industry norm, right? But it is what it is. So our total operating cost, or actual spend for last split, was roughly $1,600 just for casters. Now, if we add prizes, which usually $50 a team for first place, so that's roughly another 100. Then advertisements, another 100 on top of that. So I would say I spent roughly $1,800 on Zero Gravity Gaming. We have no sponsorship. We have no financing other than me, right? I'm a firefighter. I cannot afford to run Zero Gravity Gaming in my off league at this current change of pace, right? So this is where we come to the next little format I have for you. Or when I say format, I mean sheet. So this first graph at the top is going to be our old format and what it cost if we continued with just 3 streams, right? So roughly 135 a week. Cut down on another 45 for a stream. And then we get to the Gauntlet week. That's $240 because that includes IBS semifinals as well. We get to Gold Quarters, which is just 2 BO3s. And then you get to Gold semis and Gold Finals, which is $150. To cover that, just no profit and not even account for the prize money, just for casters, the potential entry fee would be exactly $67 if we had 30 teams, right? Between both gold divisions and IBS. That's kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to charge $67. So we've come up with this next format here, right? At the bottom, it's Worlds format. Roughly, it's going to take us $300 less than normal. We're going to have 4 less teams than normal. We're going to have 16 gold teams instead of 20. And if we wanted to break even just with the entry fee, it would be about 65.7, right? That's still ridiculous. So I have committed to taking less than what I require, right? I am not going to charge exorbitant rates for an entry fee. However, we're going to get into the entry fee here. This is our current thought process, right? Whether I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. So we're planning on opening Plat League. That should be Mondays as normal. I'm gonna have 8 teams. Entry fee is going to be $25, and the deposit's going to be the exact same. The difference between the entry fee and the deposit, as long as you don't forfeit or rule break or do anything that would cease the agreement for the deposit, right? You will get that deposit back. If you forfeit once, we'll take $5 as a deposit, something like that. We haven't decided on exact rates, but this is just, it'll be finalized within the week, but this is just the current thought process, right? So we'll have $25 entry fee for all league, and that'll give us $850 of actual profit, right? I say profit, but it's not really profit. We'll get into that later. The deposit's going to be the exact same, but you'll also get that back, okay? Now, if we look all the way at the right, we've got the pricing structure. So for first place, we're going to give $50 prizes. Generally, we don't offer, we haven't offered public prizes, I suppose. Generally, admins have given a little something out for winners in the past, but it's not been part of ZGG as a whole, right? And in addition, we're also offering second place prizes, which is a couple more than the deposit, right? So we're going to look at $625 for total profit at the end of this. If you recall, operating cost is probably about $1,600, assuming best case scenario. Worst case scenario, probably a little higher. I do not expect to break even. I just want the economic impact lessened so I don't go bankrupt trying to run a league, right? A gold league, a plat league, an IBS league, either one. I don't think it's worth getting bankrupt for. Now that said, the meat and potatoes of the current video, right? Format discussion. So we are going to go to a Worlds format. This is going to be specifically for gold. IBS and Plat might stay closer to the original format. I don't think we've really done much discussion on that. But this is going to be focusing on gold for now. So we'll have 4 groups of 4. This is Worlds format. 4 groups of 4, 16 teams. This is double elimination. The top 2 of each group will advance to an upper bracket, and the bottom 2, lower 2, will advance to the lower bracket. Alright, so I've got a picture of that bracket here. So this is the upper bracket here. A1, B2, D1, C2, B1, A2, C1, D2. And these first 3 weeks are going to be best of 3. The upper bracket will have alternating weeks so that the lower bracket can continue to play their games. And every single week from week 7 to week 13, there will be a game. But most of the every other week, week 8, week 10, week 12, that'll be lower bracket focused, right? So the idea is that there are a lot of teams here in playoffs, right? Everyone gets a shot. It's pretty much just Gauntlet adapted to a double elimination format. That's what this entire idea is. Gauntlet has been one of our primary ideas behind ZGG and like a fan favorite. But like I said, it's getting to the point where I can't support it. That said, I think that's everything I really had, graphics-wise, financials-wise. If you by any means feel any thoughts about this format change, just open a ticket, talk in community feedback, or by all means go straight to my DMs. All right, my DMs are open. There always will be. Whether I respond or not, that might be a different picture, but if it's time pressing, I promise I will respond. Uh, in addition, I want to clarify that this is not necessarily including our Twitch subscriptions, our Patreon subscriptions. Uh, our Twitch subscriptions rarely pay out. You need at least $100 a month for Twitch to pay out, and we've only gotten one payout our entire streaming career, which is to tell you how dire straight we are in financials. And that was when the anonymous subgifter went around Blue Otter, Zero Gravity Gaming, and I don't know if he went anywhere else, but he donated over 200 subs between the two leagues. That was the only time that we've had any Twitch payout. And then our Patreon had garnered up over probably about 2 years before we took it out, and that only covered about 100, maybe $150 worth of paying casters. So at the end of the day, I think we ended up roughly about $1,000 in the red, which is a lot. And that includes the deposit that I had initially made for Zero Gravity Gaming. I put about $300 in for advertisements and paying casters. Now that said, I love this community. I love everything that we've built here at Zero Gravity Gaming, and I want it to continue for as long as it can. And that's the idea behind these changes. Please bear with us, as this will probably be a little bit later of a season start than normal. I'd probably be looking for signups in the next 2 weeks, and a start date within the next month. Okay? That said, my name is Shanghai. Thanks for playing in Zero Gravity Gaming. I'll see you next split.